Truck drivers, if you've been on the road long enough, you've heard about level 1 inspections and you've also heard about level 2 inspections. But a lot of drivers aren't exactly sure what happens when they get pulled over for a level 2 inspection step by step. But right now I'm going to walk you through it step by step so you know exactly what happens, start to finish, and you know exactly what to expect. You're going to know what inspectors are looking for and how you can avoid unnecessary violations. My name is Cole, I'm a state DOT cop, and I do these inspections daily, so I know what gets people violations and what gets people clean inspections. Let's jump in. So first things first, flat out, what is a level 2 inspection? So I want you to think of a level 2 inspection just like a level 1 inspection minus the inspector crawling underneath the truck on a creeper, because that's basically what it is. The level 1 is a full comprehensive bumper to bumper, top to bottom, wheels off the ground if necessary type inspection. But a level 2 inspection is going to be a walk-around inspection. The officer checks your logs, CDL, paperwork, med card, hours of service, and then does a visual and kind of physical walk around of the outside of that truck. Now, a level 2 inspection is quicker than a level 1, but don't get it twisted, because violations still happen during level 2 inspections, and you can still be put out of service during a level 2 inspection. DOT level 2 inspection step 1. Now, this is going to be what I call the stop, or the initiation. Whether you are just stopped while you're driving, or you pull into a weigh station, this is where everything starts. The inspector usually is going to walk up to your window, introduce themselves, and at this point, they're going to ask for like the basics. So your license, registration, med card, bill of lading, any log information as well. Some places they may ask for your IFTA and everything. If you have a binder with everything in there, give them the whole binder, tell them everything's in there. Now, this first step is what I like to call the first test, because how you hand over all your paperwork tells us a lot. If you've got everything organized, ready to go, then we're really off to a great start. If it takes you 10, 15, 20 minutes digging around your cab looking for your license or registration, you can see how that's not a great start. Now, here's exactly what we're looking for with your paperwork. We want to make sure that your CDL is valid, not expired, and we want to make sure that it's the correct class with no restrictions. Or if there are restrictions, what are they and do they pertain to the stop? We're going to be looking closely at your med card, whether it's online or you have the paper copy. We're going to be looking to make sure that that is valid and up to date. We're looking at your registration and insurance. This one is the easy one, but it's often overlooked. Make sure you have your current insurance and registration cards in your vehicle. We're going to be looking at your bill of lading to make sure that your cargo matches properly. And another massive one we're going to be looking at are your ELD and your logs. This is a big one. So we're going to be checking your hours of service, making sure that you're not in any sort of violations. And most of all, we just want to make sure that your logs are accurate and current as well. I can't tell you how many times I've run into drivers with incorrect logs. Not necessarily with the hours, but the form and manner of which their logs are completed. So they're either not entering things properly, such as on duty, not driving, and so forth, or none of their logs are certified at all. Again, those things may seem really small, but they can count as violations and add up over time, and we don't want that. Now, once all that paperwork is squared away, we then go back outside, back out to the truck, the combination, and the driver. Here's where that infamous walk-around term begins. So yes, there is a specific list on how a lot of this is done, but this is how I do it and how many other inspectors do it. Once I wrap up all of my paperwork, I go right back out to the truck, I climb up on the cab, and I ask the driver, do they have their fire extinguisher and their triangles? I check to make sure that they have a fire extinguisher and that it's on green or full and that it's secured. Then I make sure that they have triangles, 3 of them to be exact. I then have that driver hit their horn for me. It can be the primary or secondary horn, whichever. I have them hit their windshield wipers, and along with the wipers, I tell them to hit their fluid as well to make sure that they have fluid. Next up, I have the driver turn their key to the accessory setting so that all their lights and dials and everything work, and I have them pump their foot brake down to watch and see if their low air warning light comes on and if there's a buzzer or both. And after those sort of in-cabin things are taken care of, I have the driver put all their lights on, or put their headlights on, should I say, but making sure that all clearance lamps and ID lamps are on as well. And then I walk on to the front of the truck so I can check lights. From this point, I check pretty much all the lights on the truck. Like I mentioned, ID lamps, clearance lamps, headlights, high beam and low beam, turn signals, brake lamps, and you get it, all other lights and lamps on the truck. While I'm doing this, I'm going around checking tires for tread depth, sidewall condition, and inflation as well. I'm also checking the wheel fasteners or lug nuts as I'm checking the tires, so I'm doing those 2 things in one. Now, during this walk around, I'm also checking brakes, but it's going to be heavily visual. So I'm going to be looking at all brake hoses, all air lines. I'm looking for cracked drums, air leaks, or again, any cracked or broken hoses. If the driver may have a load there that's not inside of an enclosed trailer, I'm going to be checking that load securement as well. And if it is a closed trailer, I sometimes have a peek inside the back of the trailer. As I'm doing this full walk around, I'm also looking just for general safety things. So I'm looking for conspicuity, any leaks, broken equipment, anything obviously unsafe. You may have noticed during this walk around, I never mentioned crawling underneath the truck, because again, if you remember, we're not crawling underneath your truck for a level 2. And we're not even measuring push rods. That's level 1 territory. Here's something a lot of truck drivers seem to forget or don't know. Inspectors, we are human. We are taking note about this whole interaction as we're even walking up to your truck. If your cab is filthy, your paperwork paperwork is a mess and everything is completely disorganized, it does make a lot of inspectors take a deeper look. Now, on the other hand, if your truck is clean, your paperwork is organized, and the cherry on top, you're professional, inspectors are much more likely to get through with you very quickly or wave you right on through to begin with. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to make us overlook violations. It just means your attitude and your preparation really does matter. Honestly, if you just present yourself like a pro, inspections go a lot smoother. Now, let's go over the top violations I've seen, and I've written some of them during level 2 inspection. The number one is going to be logbook violations. So falsified logs, missing info, and over hours. When it comes to your logs, I know this can be confusing for some people, but make sure you know how to work your logs properly. And make sure you know what status to log based on whatever you're doing. Quick example, if you come into an inspection station, don't just click off duty. I meet so many drivers that do that. I'll be talking to them, I tell them transfer their logs, and it says off duty because they pulled into a weigh station. Don't do that. Thing number two I see the most can be expired med cards. In fact, I just had to put someone out of service a couple weeks ago because their med card was expired. They had no clue because they forgot to check the mail for their renewal. And that is an instant day crusher right there because you can't go anywhere. The third common violation are going to be tires. There are countless times when really squared away, clean looking trucks pull up and I say to myself, all right, let me go around, check some tires really quick, and boom, 1 or 2 flat tires right off the bat. So just make sure you're always checking your tires. I know sometimes they blow out randomly and you have no clue or you catch a nail. Make sure you're checking your tread depth and checking your sidewalls as well. Fourth most common is going to be inoperable lights. Brake lights, to be specific, if we're going to talk about out of service. Because I've had trucks roll in, they appear great, so I give them the wave through, they start driving, but when I'm hearing them hitting their brakes, I'm not seeing brake lights come on, and then I have to stop them and tell them, hey, your brake lights are out, your brake lights do not work, which is not okay. So a quick tip for the brake lights and all lamps on the rear of the combination or truck, I tell people set your phone up on a rock or a pallet or something and run your lights while your phone is on record, and then check that recording to see if everything's all good. It's a very quick way to do it, and many drivers that I've told to do it said that it came out great. The fifth is going to be load securement. So straps not being tight, there not being enough straps, and damaged straps as well. What I would recommend is that you buy yourself a load securement book if you're going to be carrying loads that need to be secured all the time, and learn how to secure whatever commodity you always carry. Learning all load securement is honestly quite crazy, but if you learn how to secure what you're carrying, it's going to save you a lot of time and trouble. Every one of those violations I just mentioned to you do hit company CSA scores, and some of them carry fines as well. And if your company racks up too many violations, then they start getting flagged to be inspected more often. It really is like a giant snowball. Once you get pulled in a system of those bad violations and bad inspections, a lot of times companies that are getting pulled aside for more inspections. So what happens if you fail a level 2 inspections, or if you rack up a bunch of violations, or if you get an out of service violation during a level 2 inspection? So the violations are going to get recorded in the system. Like mentioned earlier, fines may be issued depending on the violation. You may be put out of service, like we mentioned earlier as well. And again, you can be put out of service for those things like flat tires, expired med card, and no working brake lamps. Remember, all of these things gets reported to FMCSA, which can affect both your CDL and the company's CSA score. Now, let's talk about what you can do to prepare for a level 2 DOT inspection. You can actually do your daily pre-trips. I'm going to put something up on the screen here with the daily pre-trip, so pause the video, screenshot, whatever you got to do. This is a pre-trip guide that will keep you golden. Don't just pencil whip your DVIR. Check your tires, lights, brakes, securement, and all safety things on that combination. Another tip is to have your paperwork all in one place. As I always say, have it in a binder. So your registration, insurance, IFTA, med card, and all other documents that has to do with that truck, with that job, put it all in one binder. Trust me, it makes it a lot smoother. When an inspector walks up and you say everything you need is in the binder and here is my license, music to our ears. The other tip I'm going to tell you is have your logs accurate. Don't wait until days later or until the end of the week to try to get your logs straightened out and looking good. And this is for whether you run paper logs or ELDs. Always have your logs current. And this last one isn't really a hard rule, but it's attitude. Just try to be respectful as possible. I know I am personally respectful to people no matter if they're grumpy, because I don't know what they're going on in their lives. I'm not like the you need to earn my respect kind of guy. Not like that. I respect you until you give me reason not to. One important thing I really want you to pay attention to is that arguing on the side of the road rarely, and I mean rarely, pretty much never, fixes your issue. If you don't agree with something, cool, data queue it later on and keep it moving. So there you have it. That's pretty much exactly what happens during a level 2 DOT inspection. And that's how I do my step-by-step, and many other inspectors do their step-by-step. Everyone does it differently, so you may see it done in different orders and people may ask for different things differently, but all around, that's pretty much how it's going to go for you. And if you follow the things that I've told you in this video today, you're going to be just fine. Remember, a level 2 inspection is not as intense as a level 1 inspection, but it's still very serious. Paperwork, logs, and a walkaround are enough to get violations that hurt the CSA score and sometimes your wallet. Take 5 to 10 minutes every single day to do a real pre-trip, again with that guide that I gave you earlier, and treat every single inspection like it could happen today. If you learned anything from this video and it brought you value, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, because I drop videos every single week to help you stay in the know, you stay ahead of DOT, and help you avoid fines, violations, and headaches. Share this video right here with all other truckers so that they can stay in the know and stay up to speed just like you. As always, my truckers, stay safe, keep rolling.